Okay.
Welcome to the Cars and Cancer podcast. It is episode 21. The few people that follow us. Oh, we're getting the echo, Darren.
Oh, not again.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell. That's no good, is it?
No. I think we're going to have to get you to leave the podcast just permanently, if that's all right. Me and Andy will just go off on our own, Andy. What do you reckon?
Yeah, good plan that is, eh?
Yeah, we just got to cut our losses, really, haven't we? Get rid of the dead weight, that kind of thing.
Do you know that lift you was going to have tomorrow at 8? I think it's just gone out the window, mate. Right, I'm going downstairs now. Try it downstairs, let me know if it keeps on echoing. Okay. Maybe it's just where it was with that signal. Okay. Or it could even be just the fact that you're in the shed.
No, I'm not getting the blame. It's your end. Don't try and fob off the IT, man.
Well, tell me if it keeps on going. Yeah, a bit of trouble here, Jack. So like that was me IT expert. Just checking in if you've got any problems with the recording.
It seems all right at the moment, Darren. So wherever you are, just don't move.
Don't move.
Ever.
Right.
Yeah, you've got to stay exactly where you are for an hour.
Right, that'll do, mate. Yeah, it's a bit more comfy here, actually, as well.
Yeah.
I'll probably get on Jack's nerves because he's trying to watch soaps. Can't win them all, can you, mate?
It's we're like three blind mice, really, aren't we? Bloody useless.
Let me tell you what Roman's done in our front room. So it was Sienna's birthday.
Yeah.
And he's swinging around the thing that he got from nursery about the new King George, the new whatever. And he let go and hit the TV.
Yeah.
And it split the TV straight down the middle.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
So I'm not in the room I'm normally in because Callie wants to watch TV in that room. So I'm in the other room with broken TV.
Right.
So, yeah. You still in your shed?
I'm in my shed, yeah. It's like a frigging sauna in here. Bloody hell, I'm going to open the window.
I bet it is, yeah.
God, bear with me, caller.
Yeah.
Right, open the window a bit now, that's fine. So all the neighbours can hear us as well. That'll be good. Oh, right, okay. I suppose at this point I should do the intro again, but I'm just going to leave this running. Can't be arsed. People should be used to this farcical approach to podcasting by now.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So yeah, we took a break last week, didn't we?
Yes.
I was having a bit of a crap week, and we started the podcast, and then we decided that it was probably best if we didn't. So we just had our own little chinwag between the three of us, which was quite nice, really. And we've decided we're going to have a meal together tomorrow, aren't we? The three of us. We're going to go out for a bite to eat.
Tables all booked.
Smashing.
Nice.
I'll be wearing my white suit with my pink slip-on shoes and my paisley cravat.
Your white suit?
Yeah.
So you come in as the saint then?
Yeah, I suppose it is really. Yeah, I'll have my slip-on shoes.
Very car connected.
Yeah, but I don't want to look too ostentatious. Do you know what I mean? Just
no, you'll be all right, mate.
Just want to blend in nicely.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah,
you'll look all right.
Inconspicuous. That's the word I'm after. Yeah, I'll be.
Yeah.
So I suppose that'll be our annual general meeting, won't it? Our AGM.
Our AGM, going for some nosh. That sounds about right.
Nosh, yeah. I suppose we need to put an agenda together for that, don't we? If it's an AGM.
Yeah.
And do it. Andy, if you could take the minutes, that would be great for that meeting.
Yeah, take the minutes. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Marvellous.
Do that.
Okay, and we'll have to have a series of awards as well. So, sort of IT Man of the Year award. I was thinking that might be a good category to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure on that.
No, I think it's a
You
good
know he's going to
idea.
win, don't you?
And sort of best white car category, maybe something like that. Best Ford at the
Yeah.
groups. You know, I don't know, just putting it out there. Do you know what I mean? Something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll put those categories together, and I might do quite well in those. You never know. So that's going on. Andy, you're still on your chemo. You're still cracking on with that, aren't you?
No, I finished. And when did I do it? No, it wasn't last week. It was the week before that. So
Yeah, you're
yeah,
on your
no.
3-week break now, then, or 4 weeks, whatever.
Yeah, well, it works over 5. Mine works over 5 weeks, not 4 weeks, because I'm on higher dose. But
Yeah.
basically, when I get back from Monaco, I'll go for my bloods and then I'll be on my next chemo.
You mentioned Monaco.
Yeah.
Are you going to
For
Monaco?
Formula One. Yeah, for my 40th. Cal's taking me.
Oh wow!
Oh, great
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
that's
looking forward to
fantastic,
that.
mate.
Yeah, 3 days of living the high life.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, it is nice though, isn't it? Lovely.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
the
that's
first thing I think of Monaco is the race circuit and through the streets.
Yeah.
Are you going to
And
get to
that,
see any of those?
yeah, so we're going to go and watch the Formula One.
Oh, gotcha! It's the whole shebang
Oh,
then.
better, mate, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we might watch practicing and then qualifying in the race.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the idea.
Oh,
So I'll take plenty of pictures. I'll send you some pictures.
that's
yeah.
brilliant, mate.
Yeah, that'd be great, mate, yeah.
That sounds fantastic. Do you have an idea where you'll be sitting on the track at this stage, or?
We have. I couldn't tell you where it is.
Yeah.
It's in the pack that Carol got. Staying in a nice hotel. It's gonna be a good weekend away. Well, a long weekend. Yeah. Yeah. So my birthday's in June, so it's a little bit earlier than when my birthday is, but I wanted to go Monaco when I'm 40, so
Yeah.
yeah, so I'll nearly be 40.
Yeah. I have been there a few years ago now, though.
Yeah.
Really, really good, yeah.
Is it expensive when you're there, Darren?
We didn't stay there for long, 'cause we was actually on a cruise, and we went there while we was on the cruise, so we just kind of did quite a bit of sightseeing. But I wouldn't say we didn't really have to go for meals as such. We had like drinks while we was there, which I didn't think was overpriced really. I think there is some places where you can buy ridiculously priced like sort of bottles of champagne and wine at like 30,000 euros a bottle and that sort of stuff. But they're in like the sort of clubs of a night time. The casino, that is well worth doing the trip on the night time, or obviously when the Grand Prix ain't on. If you get time to do that, go round the casino. It's absolutely amazing inside.
Yeah.
It's really well worth a look, that is.
Yeah.
But they're a cracking place, really nice.
Yeah. No, it should be good.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it, mate. And yeah, definitely, especially the Grand Prix there. Because when we went, all you could see of the Grand Prix is on the road. You still got the red and white sort of checkered markings on some of the bends when you come down the hill.
Yeah.
And then you got like the black and white ones and the red and white ones. Yeah, so you can see where it's marked out, and it just stays there permanently. They just do all the rest of it, all the add-on things, what they sort of fetch and take away afterwards. But yeah, lovely place, beautiful.
Yeah, nice. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah. Yeah, really good, mate. Yeah, well done, mate.
Yeah.
No, that sounds fantastic. That's yeah, it's like a lifelong ambition, isn't it? Sort of see one of the most famous tracks, I suppose. And
Yeah. You go to Silverstone and places like that, but Monaco, it's just like really good race prepared track, on the road. Yeah.
I think the tunnel's the famous bit.
It's got to be the only one, hasn't it? Is it the only one sort of track they use is actually ordinary roads, isn't it?
No, I think there's 2 or 3 in the Formula One. Yeah.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember the one I watched last time. They went through the old town and then they went on the new racetrack. I can't even remember what it was called.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a couple I think like that. Yeah.
Right.
Didn't they do some motor racing in Birmingham years ago? And they had sort of Formula One or Formula Ford, something like that, racing to the streets. I'm sure they did something like that years and years ago.
Was it in Birmingham or was it in Coventry?
Well, maybe it was Coventry. Maybe it was
I
Coventry.
know one of them did something because they was on about redoing it again, weren't they, at some point?
Yeah.
I don't know whatever happened to that. It all seems to have gone a bit by the by again.
Yeah. That might be my homework.
There you go, then, mate. So you can work on there.
Yeah, that's it. That's my homework.
Yeah.
I thought it was. I'm pretty sure it was Birmingham.
Yeah, you're probably right, mate. I know Coventry was on about doing something. Maybe they was going to do it because Birmingham had stopped. Perhaps, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll find out when you're doing your own work.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, leave it to the IT man. He'll sort it out.
I'll leave it to the IT man, yeah. You might have to do something individually if you rather than just keep on eating puddings and biscuits, isn't you?
It's the second week you've been eating your puddings.
Yeah, I do have a break in between.
It's a bloody big pudding, that, isn't it? Who's been eating my porridge? Is that one of the really big bears?
I've been stuck in the shed for a week eating porridge, yeah, because I can't get out, yeah. So, no, it's just, I don't know if you noticed, but with the weather being so light, you tend to have tea later than you normally would.
Yeah.
So, it's just like scoffing my tea. And then you sent a message, Andy, and I was like, oh, God, I forgot it was Monday. I forgot that we've got the podcast, so I was just scoffing my tea. But, very ill prepared. So you've got a car show the end of start of June as well, haven't you, Andy? You're going up to Tatton Park.
Yeah, Tatton Park. Yeah, I've had the show ticket come through.
Yeah.
So, gonna go up there. My dad's gonna take me in his truck with my trailer, and we'll park on the visitors' car park and unload, and then park on the bit. Yeah, I don't know where I'm gonna park, but I think there's gonna be a few Novas there.
Yeah.
40 years of Vauxhall Novas, so.
Right.
Yeah, there'll be a few there.
Yeah. Yeah, we go up and see that, eh?
Yeah. I was just checking my notes from last week. Was it the third and the fourth, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What day are you there, Andy?
Saturday the 3rd.
Ah, okay.
Have a quick look.
Saturday the 3rd. Okay, and that's at Tatton. Yeah, we'll have to get that sorted, get that booked in. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
It's not that far away now, is it? Bloody hell.
No, it ain't, mate. That'll fly, that will.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks away.
Yeah, exactly. How's the car looking, Andy? Is it good to go, or have you still got a few bits and bobs to do?
There's a few little things I need to do. I'll show you tomorrow what I need to do. It's not quite running how it should do, but we're working on that to get it up and running as it should do. But I'm not going to drive there. I'm going to take it on the trailer, so it's giving me a little bit of time to work on it. It's running, not running full how it used to run. Not quite there. So I stripped it all down, didn't I, in the winter, and did all the front. So there's something I've done something on it where it's not quite running. But Rich will come down and we'll have a little look. So basically, when I had a problem with the thermostat, so I've got two external fans on it and one internal fan, and the internal fan got stuck and it melted the fuse inside on the fuse box.
Oh, right.
That's why everything stopped working, because it melted a couple of the fuses. So we sorted that problem out. So that was one of the things we needed to sort out. Cool. But it's not quite over as it should be. I've probably not put one of the spark plugs on or something like that. Something obvious that I need to do, I've not done.
Yeah, and it's sometimes better if you've just got somebody else just having a look from the outset, and because you get so engrossed in it, don't you? And somebody from the outside can just go, oh, yeah, you've missed that bit.
They see it straight away, don't they?
Yeah, that's really frustrating, that, isn't it?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Oh, that'll be good then. Get the car up to the show then. So I suppose worst come to the worst, if you can't get it running quite right, you can at least just, once you get it on site, you can just drive it into its space or whatever, can't you?
Yeah, that's it. But I'm sure we'll sort it out, Aid. We'll get there with it.
Good man.
Yeah, sure you will, mate. Sure you
We're
will.
not on the road yet, so
No.
we just have a look at it once a week. I mean, Richard have a look at it once a week, so he comes on a Thursday night, I think, to have a look. So
Right.
get there.
Right.
But yeah, no, I'll have it outside. Can have a look at it tomorrow.
Yeah, great stuff. I ain't seen it for ages.
Good man. And speaking of car shows, you've been to a car show, haven't you, Darren? You went, was it last weekend or the weekend before? I can't remember.
Last weekend we went to the caffeine machine.
Yeah.
Which down sort of Worcester way, but it's really, really good. Really good. It's brilliant how they do the setup, because it isn't like a sort of conventional car show where you kind of get there at 10 o'clock and stay there till late afternoon and everything's sort of kind of stationary. You actually book your slot, so it's kind of 9 till 12, 12 till 3, 3 till 6, and then 6 till 9. But it goes right through the whole day, and it's a brilliant pub, and the way that it's laid out. And because they do that, you've got a constant influx all day, every so many hours, of new cars. And you've got like people that just come in some really amazing cars as well, and they're just sort of there to see the others and park on the green at the bottom. And then you've got the ones that are actually exhibiting the cars and putting them around for people to look at. So you're listening to them coming in, so rather than just looking at a load of sort of stationary cars that are not running. I mean, there's some pretty big, powerful stuff coming in, and the noises of it, some of these machines driving in, it's really awesome, really, you know. And there's everything there from a little Fiat 500, which is super, like the sort of turboed up and everything, right up to, I don't know, it's like a 1962 Mustang. And that's the sort of variety, you know. There's Alpines, Renaults, and just everything there. So turboed up with Nissans and 800 brake horsepower cars, you know. So there's a real mix of stuff the whole day, but it's well worth going to.
Yeah. Oh, so there isn't. You don't get like groups of cars going. You just literally go on the website and you'll just say, look, I'll go to the 3 till 6 slot, and then you don't know what other.
Yeah, you can just book it. Yeah, just book it in there. Then they have so many each time, so they ain't got loads of cars queuing outside on the road. But if you're not going to be doing that, you can just go there and just park up down the bottom. You know, you can just drive more or less straight in. But most people tend to book there. I think it was a tenner for the car. I think it was when you go in. So our friend, Ryan's mate, came down with him in a BMW. I'm not quite sure what really model it was, but it's unbelievably fast. Yeah. And he went down and just parked on the green straight at the bottom and said, I'm with them, and he just showed his ticket still so we could get in there, you know. So it's sort of limited on spacing, I suppose. Quite a big site, it's not a little tiny thing, but yeah, some great stuff down there. Yeah. And they've got like a little shop inside the pub. You can go and get food in there, and they fetch it outside on all the benches. You just order it, QR code, and they fetch it out to you. Picnic tables all over the place. Yeah, it's a really good setup. It is really good.
Yeah, it sounds really well organised.
Yeah, it is, mate. Yeah. We'll have to have a ride down to it one of the days. You get 2 or 3 cars to go down there.
Yeah.
Be worth a good, nice little sprint. It takes about an hour and 15 minutes to get to. It's sort of like Worcester type way, Worcester, Warwickshire that way. But yeah, definitely worth going to.
Cool. Did you go in the Rover then?
Yeah, we did. It's the longest trip we've done in it actually up to now. So we was going down there, and Ryan's mate's car, Richie, this little BMW he got, it's running on about 550 brake at the minute.
Bloody hell.
It's pretty quick. So we were sort of sitting there. I was in the middle lane quite a bit there, because he was doing just the leading of it, and he said, well, won't be going mad down there. He said, because the Rover's still running, and they've only done about, I think it's just gone over, coming up to about 200 miles since the rebuild.
Wow. Okay.
So obviously going down there, it had only done about 70 odd since it was done. So it was just a nice steady sort of plod really, 60, 65, and it's all got to get running nicely into it, and it's not going to do it any good by scraping it and this early in the engine rebuild.
No, absolutely. How did it go?
Oh, it went brilliant, mate. Absolutely busting. We had a couple of them little leaks that I said about the other week with the water, and there was some oil dripping from that was building on the sump. I think it was actually coming from the sump, but because they go in like a dry gasket, once they get hot, they tend to seal. So you can sometimes get little like leaks until they've bedded themselves in and settled down. But we got back and I checked it when I came back, put a clean bit of cardboard underneath where it was dripping from. The next day there was nothing on it, so it seems like the run's probably done it good. It's helped everything. Especially, I mean, you get the same with water, don't you, with new hoses and that. You can sometimes have to keep the first couple of weeks, keep checking them, nicking them all up. Then all of a sudden it just stops and that's it. It run really well.
Do you feel nervous when you go for a run like that? Are you constantly looking like the temperature gauges and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think at first day you do. I did the same on that Jag actually when I first did that, because I put water pump on it and all new belts on and all the pulleys and the adjusters, and there's not many of them on the front, and I stripped them all down, cleaned all the pulleys up and all the little components, polished them all up on a little polisher, and then put them all back in, and there's so many bloody belts and tensioners on the front of it, and then the hoses here, there and everywhere in the building. And the first couple of weeks I was just doing little trips in it. We go over near Stoke or somewhere to get back, and the water coolant light would come on, and you go and check them. Oh, another one there, another hose, just nick it up a little bit more. But they're always tight when you first put them on, and it gets hot, and they move. And
the cycles, don't they, where they get hot and cold and.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so they expand and they shrink, and then all of a sudden we did that. Then we actually found a tiny little leak just on the top hose that went back in, a little tiny elbow. It's only a tiny little hose it is, and it's like a really tight bend on it, and there was a tiny little crack underneath it where it was seeping from. So finally found out where that was coming from, because it looked like it was coming from the pump at first, and it wasn't. It was actually coming from this hose just directly above it. We got that done, and that was it. But after so long, once you know it stopped, and you keep testing it in these little runs, at the first, and I thought, oh God, all the way down there, and it's the first. I've only done like 20-something miles in it. And when you've not driven it it's been off the road 17 years, you suddenly think, oh, do I really need to do a trip? Not like it's mega far, but it is for its first journey, if you like.
Yeah.
It does play on your mind quite a bit. I keep looking at the gauges, the oil pressure's sitting nice. Oh, that's good. You do tend to do a lot of gauge watching, mate. I think everyone probably does the same.
Yeah, I suppose you do as well, Andy, with yours being so highly tuned.
Yeah. Checking my oil pressure gauge, my temperature gauges, just like permanently keeping an eye on them, see what's happening.
Yeah.
Obviously it gets hot so quick if you're not moving. It just gets quite hot. It goes just over halfway, and that's when you start getting problems with it.
Yeah.
Going wrong with it and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather be going at like 60 mile an hour, making sure I've got some headwind on it, than sitting in traffic. Yeah. I don't think it'd do very well just sitting in traffic at full temperature. If you just sat there.
No.
With the fans and everything on.
I
used to have the bloody door.
On the Manta, I used to have a manual fan. So if I ever got to traffic, I could just flick it on straight away.
That's why I've got two manual fans on the outside of the radiator.
Yeah.
Just flick them on when I want them.
It just makes you feel that little bit better, and as soon as you get to a bit of traffic, you can just whack it on, and you're not relying on a thermostat to pack up or anything like that.
No, that's all I've got on the at the minute. It's just got the electric fan that's been fixed onto the front. They took the viscous off because you tend to get so many problems with them. Even the new ones, they don't seem to last that long.
Yeah.
They start playing up, then it's just roaring away constantly, and it's too too much cold air on it, and so they just did away with it when it was rebuilt, and we've just got the electric fan on now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Right.
Nice that the two of you had some time together as well from your previous years in the car show. It's nice to sort of relive Those
Oh,
mountains,
yeah.
isn't it, really?
Yeah. Oh, that was amazing, that was, yeah. Yeah, just going down there, just driving down, it sort of like took me back to when Ryan was kind of about 10 or 11, when we used to be, that's the last time we went out for running it together.
Yeah.
So it's quite a long time, really.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, he loved it. I said, when I go down, next time we take it out, I said, I'll put you on insurance on it and I'll drive it one way, you can fetch it back.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So he said, oh yeah, we can definitely do that now.
Brilliant.
But yeah, it was good. Yeah. His mate kept saying, oh, I don't know whether he was going to come in that or in the Jag. He said, with me being in this. And I said, I still wouldn't put my foot down next to you in that bloody thing. It's bloody awesome, mate. Honestly, it really is. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, nice. With me working on my car, I've started fabricating the fuel tank straps. I got those alloy strips, Andy. So I've started moulding them, and I've got the rubber that goes on them to stop it rubbing. So I'm about halfway through that at the moment because I'm having to. I was going to weld some brackets, get some brackets welded on, but I think I can actually just go straight to the floor pan and just bolt them on. Which I quite like doing that. I like to do as much as I can.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah.
And the beauty of it not being completely original is that you don't have to follow a certain procedure. You can sort of make something up and go, well, I think if I put that bolt through there, that'll work, and that'll, do it nicely. Not like a bodge, but it's it's nice when you can think of solutions and things to put it together.
Yeah.
So,
I think that goes on a lot, especially with classic cars, don't it?
Yeah.
Apart from the odd person that sort of looks at everything on it and, well, this isn't quite the same, that isn't the same as that, I had a couple about the Rover when I put pictures on with that, when it went out, and a lot of people in a couple of the, like the online groups, not in the actual Rover SD1 club as such, it was more in these other, the Rover enthusiasts and the other Rovers and that, I've like joined on with them, and I think both of them, I got something like just under 200 likes and comments on the Rover, but there was always someone has to say something, didn't they? Like, oh, I couldn't understand why they painted the rim was black. Is that all you've got to say on it? You know what I mean? Oh, and I thought, I'll do one. Do you really think, in the grand scheme of things, I've just had a nut and bolt restoration on the car that's cost me nothing, and I'm really going to pick, because the rim mirrors have been sprayed pretty satin black instead of not chrome. Get real.
Yeah. You should have rejected it, Darren. The first person to reject a car SOS, just give it back and say no.
Do you know what I mean? Oh, yeah, imagine standing there saying that. Well, why have you done that? Why haven't you put this little bit of trim on there? Come on, bloody hell.
Oh dear. Never mind. There's always going to be people like that. They just seem to get something out of it. And,
So somebody else put on it, message back, and they said, well, I actually quite like them in black. Fair play to me. Yeah.
At the end of the day,
I did say that to him on the message.
Yeah.
I said, well, considering small price to pay, considering that the car's just been completely rebuilt for me.
Yeah.
And just put that in brackets, like, I wouldn't enter my mind to say something like that. I would just be saying, oh, fantastic, we'd like to, everybody else did. I mean, 2 different sites to get nearly 200 likes and comments of people, and to get one prick that something like that. It says it all, doesn't it?
It does. Don't let them get to you, mate. Don't let them get to you.
I won't, mate. No, they don't bother me.
No. I was just flicking through. I was just looking on the net and stuff, just trying to think of something like a discussion point we could talk about, and I came across an article from the RAC from, well, God, it's 5 years ago. Bloody hell, 5 years ago.
All right.
Yeah, and it was talking about the most annoying habits on UK roads, driving on UK roads. And I thought I'd go through the 11 that they've identified.
Oh, okay, go on then. Great.
Yeah, and see what you think against, because I found 2 that they haven't included, but they're probably just annoy me, because I do like a rant, as you know. So in at number 11, we've got not letting another vehicle turn right. So that's if the vehicle's coming towards you and they wanted to cross over to your lane, or you're trying to turn right across the lane, and then the other cars won't let you go. Apparently, that's in at number 11. Number 10 is arguing with traffic wardens. I don't think I've ever spoken to a traffic warden. I don't think I've even argued with them. And generally,
most people don't get an argument. I think most people just say go away, get lost, and I won't swear. But, you know what I mean?
And I think it's one of those things where you just kind of should realise that if a traffic warden's got you, well, you're buggered really, because they're just enforcing the area that they're told to.
Yeah.
They're just doing a job at the end of the day, aren't they? And if you're parking there and you shouldn't be, then you just got to accept that you cocked up really. But so that was number 10. Number 9 was people driving below the speed limit.
Oh yes, that's one for me.
Bloody BMW driver here.
You're getting stuck behind somebody doing 40 mile an hour.
Yeah.
40 mile an hour, on a 60 or 70 mile an hour road, they're doing 40 mile an hour. And they do 40 mile an hour for a 30 mile an hour zone. You're like, what are they doing? No offence to Welsh people, but they've always got Welsh flags on the number plates. I'm like, come on.
God. Oh, no.
Welsh flags driving the Volvo.
Oh, God, no. Yeah, we'll probably lose half of our audience now. So we've got 2 people listening. Yeah. Moving swiftly along. We've got people late braking for speed cameras. But I think sometimes that's easier said than done, because sometimes you don't know what speed you should be doing in certain areas, and all of a sudden a camera appears and it's like, whoa. So that was locked in at number 8. At number 7 is queuing for right-hand fuel pumps. Now this bugs me. Wow. This bugs me in petrol stations. When people go to a petrol station and they're insistent that they have to go to a pump where it's on the same side as their filler cap. Do people not realise that the hose is stretched to the other side of the car, so you don't need to? Do you know what I mean? You don't need to be flush with the side of the pump. But the amount of people you see queuing because it's on the right hand side, and then you just go straight to the front of the queue and you just stretch it across, and you're just thinking, are you watching me? Are you watching me? Look, you can do this. But no, they don't. And there's still buffoons out there that do that. So that's one that annoys me. People that change lanes when you're in slow traffic. So this is when you're on the motorway and it's all slow.
Oh, that actually gets on my nerves. That does. Just stay where you are.
Yeah. At number 5. So the top 5, we've got accelerating on a red light. So this is people who are like sort of revving and wait on the red light, waiting to shoot off. So 4, I had to read up on this one. Zip merging. Now it isn't anything to do with dogging, but zip merging is apparently when you're going to like from 2 lanes to 1 lane, where it's cone filtered, where they put the cones in to filter it down to 1 lane. It's when the people go all the way down the outside lane and then they cut in right at the end.
Oh yeah. Shocking.
Yeah. Now that annoys the hell out of me. But apparently, according to the RAC website, we really shouldn't be doing that. In their words, zip merging is safe, sensible, and recommended by the Highway Code. It is not pushing in. It is keeping the flow of slow-moving traffic moving. You think by blocking zip mergers, you're doing the right thing morally. You're wrong. Now, I think that's wrong. Because if people are shooting down the outside lane, then everyone in the left-hand lane has to stop and then let them in. Whereas if they'd have moved into the lane earlier on, then you wouldn't have this problem. But they just go shooting down the outside, and you know exactly what drivers it is, and they go straight down the outside and then cut you up right at the end.
Yeah.
Rant.
I think the way to stop it is for half the people in the queue in that line just to move over. So you're all going together.
But if you're in two lanes and you're merging into one, you can't move over, can you? Really, to let them out, you got to let them through, haven't you?
Yeah.
But it's just annoying.
I can see what.
Go on.
No, go on. Get on with your countdown. We discuss this after.
If you think about it, you've been sitting in that traffic jam for half an hour, and you're pensionately.
I think a lot of people that won't go into it, because it could say, look, it's 400 yards, 300 yards. That's quite a way, 300 yards, to leave the lane completely empty if you are okay to go down it, as far as they map it out to. And I think everyone thinks, oh, I'm not going over there. Everyone's waiting this side, I better go in here. I think if you go to any other country, you'll find that both lanes would be full to the end, and then you have to let them merge in one on one. As one goes, you know what I mean? Every time you get there, one car goes in between. And then you're all going in at the same time, really. It just means that they're joining your lane. But you're still going one of them, you, one of them, you. When you actually look at it from above, the traffic's all going down into one lane together, isn't it?
Yeah.
At the end. If you go near the other country, I bet you they'd be full. It's just an English thing to like to queue up and stay in that line. You get it everywhere, don't you? You get it not just on rides or waiting to get in somewhere, but you walk into a bar and suddenly people form little queues, 4 or 5 little queues at a bar, and the bar staff are there going, what are you all doing in the queues for? You just come to the bar.
Yeah, it is very much a British thing to queue, isn't it?
Definitely, definitely, yeah.
We went to a show at the weekend, and there was a whole row of portable toilets, and there was a queue. So Kelly gets in the queue.
That's an exciting show. Was it a portable toilet show?
No, they had a Spitfire and Hurricane fly over. It's quite a good little show.
Oh, okay.
They had old vintage tractors. Yeah. And they had an armament there with firing guns and stuff. Yeah, it was a nice little show.
Okay.
And there was like 15 toilets. And Kelly said, are you all waiting for the toilet? I said, yeah, waiting for the toilet. She said, they're all on green, they're all empty. Oh, are they? Okay. You're just queuing for no reason. Yeah. We'll get in the queue. And they're all empty, like, go and use them.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, the kids, yeah. It was only in Whitchurch, so it wasn't far for us to go.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Just too longer to get to the toilet and go to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought it was just a show of mobile toilets that you'd gone to.
No. Proper little show. Yeah. We went last year, they had the Lancaster bomber flyover.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And because it's by a church with a big lake, and it flew over and it come down really low, so you could see the underneath of it, and it went around and began.
Oh, that's
because they had cancelled the King's the aeroplane thing, they've got more flying time, so that's why they did the Hurricane and Spitfire.
Right.
I'm with you.
Yeah, so they flew over a couple of times. So yeah,
Okay.
good.
Okay, if we get back to the
what are we on now?
We're at the top 3 now. Top 3. Number 3, parking over 2 spaces. That's
Yes.
Yeah, that's just a given, isn't it? Yeah, you're just an idiot if you do that. Number 2, late entry into a slip road. So when you're on the motorway and then people that just cut off at last minute, that's quite annoying.
Dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. And number 1 is middle lane hogging. Oh my God, that bugs the hell out of me. Oh, the amount of times where they're just sitting there in the middle lane doing 50 mile an hour.
And everyone's going 70,
Yeah, and then you're just plodding away in the inside lane, and you're going past them, and then I'm looking at them to sort of say, can you see that I'm going past you and I'm doing 60 odd mile an hour in the inside lane, and then they're just oblivious. They're just absolutely oblivious. They're in their own little world. I just think they should be shot. I think that's it.
Shot. That's to be
I think if you just see, just make it clear when you pass your driving test, if you hog in the middle lane, you get shot. and that's it. You just pull them over to the side of the road, drag them out of the car, shoot them, and then compound the car or crush it. There you go, job done.
I'm sure you can get fined for it, Aid.
You can get what? Sorry.
Fine for it if you sit in the middle lane.
Oh yeah.
You can though, yeah.
Yeah,
They can give you.
Yeah, a fine's not strong enough though, in my opinion. Just take them out. That's it. That'll solve the problem, won't it? Anyway, I've thought of 3 that they haven't got.
That's what my comment before, that is.
It's just.
You're spending too much time in that bloody shed.
Yes, I tell you what, I am baking in here. Bloody hell. Anyway, I've thought of 3 that they haven't got on their list, and I don't know if you agree with me, but here's Aid's 3 main gripes on the road.
Right, go on then. What's yours?
Okay, are you ready? So the first one is that when you let someone through and they don't thank you.
Oh yeah, that's shocking.
Yeah.
They don't even put their hand up. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know it's.
Man, it costs nothing, does it?
Yeah. I know it's not in the highway code, and I don't.
No,
but I think it's just a common courtesy just to say you've pulled over to let me through because there's parked cars on your side, and you've made it nice and easy for me to go through. Just an acknowledgement, just a hand up, flash of the lights or something. Well, flash the lights is a bit risky, so just put your hand up, just to say thank you. That's all you want, and if you don't get that, well, I'll tell you what.
Twat.
What words to that description? Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Are we all in agreement with that one?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Sold. Next one is when you're following a car in front and they turn off the main road really slowly. That bugs the hell out of me because you know that they're not quite sure if they're going the right way, so they slow down and then they're looking. But at that point you're committed, so just go. Don't sort of crawl round at flipping 5 miles an hour. Chatting to your wife, Doris. Is this the right turn? Is this the right turn? You've made a decision. Now just piss and go. So, yeah, that's gripe number 2. Don't know if any of you gentlemen are signing up to that one. Any?
Yeah, it can be frustrating, really. Yeah.
Oh, you're too nice, Darren.
Doesn't happen that often, too often, though, does it? Really? Okay. That one. So yeah.
And the third one is lack of indication. So if you're following a car in front and it turns off left or it turns off right or wherever, and it doesn't indicate,
just puts your brake on all the time for no reason, and then something goes.
Yeah, I'm not driving up their arse or anything like that. So you leave a gap or whatever, so it doesn't cause an accident. But it's just a courtesy, just to say, right, I'm turning off here now, so I am braking for that, or I am.
Yeah.
It's just a courtesy. But when people,
you taught that on your test, aren't you?
Yeah.
You indicate first, then you brake.
Yeah. And it's
not the other way around.
Oh, I can just feel my blood boiling now just thinking about it.
He's gonna have a rant in a minute, Andrew.
I'm doing quite well. I might get down.
I've got one for you. So
go on,
say you're coming up to a roundabout and you're in the left-hand lane to go straight over.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
A car in front, 2 cars in front, and you, and a car goes in the right-hand lane and overtakes you, and then goes in the same lane you're going.
Yeah.
And I know you can do it on some roundabouts, but not when you're like, he's going to do me on this roundabout, and then he does like, yeah, there you go.
It's all right to come on the roundabout and it's straight on the dual carriageway and it doesn't make any difference. But other than that, they're cutting you up, really.
Yeah, they're cutting you up, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of my big ones.
I think I was told on roundabouts, if I remember rightly, is that if you got 2 lanes coming up to a roundabout, if you're not going more than halfway round, you stay in the left-hand lane.
Yeah.
And if you're going more than halfway round, you go into the right-hand lane.
Yeah.
That's what I was told.
Yeah.
What I remember, because we all read the highway code every night, don't we, gents? Of course we do.
Yeah.
But I think that was what I was told. But this was probably about 300 years ago when I passed my test. But I just thought that's the common rule. But like you're saying, Andy, the car in the right-hand lane thinks, oh right, I can nip in here. Which is a bit like the old the zip, what do they call it? Zip merging. It's a bit like that, really, isn't it?
Yeah, the other way around. Yeah.
Have you got any gripes, Darren?
Not really, mate. I think just what you said. The only thing that you haven't mentioned is when you pull up at a light and they're on red And the car next to you is just constantly, very slowly, he keeps edging his way forward. And I think, where are you going to go?
Yeah.
And then they get completely over the line.
Yeah.
And then you tend to pull away before they do, because by the time they've done all that, they've started looking at something else, and then the light's gone on green, and they're still there.
Yeah.
And some of them travel like 6 foot. Where are they going?
Yeah, exactly. And what happens is when you're the car behind that car, so you've pulled up to the light, you pulled up, there's a car in front of you at the lights, and you stop. Handbrake on, out of gear, you're sitting there, right. And then the car in front crawls forward. So you're then like, oh, okay. So then it leaves a gap, and you're like, oh, I'll just stay here. But then they crawl forward a bit further, so that gap becomes something like, I don't know.
It's like a car space, isn't it?
Yeah, like another car space. And then you look like a right dick there, don't you? Because you're like, oh, he's left a big gap there. No, I haven't, because this artist in front has crawled forward. And I'm sitting here like an idiot. And oh, goodness me. I need to lie down after this.
You rode it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any sort of road rage moments? I like to call people by stupid names.
No.
I just seem to make names up of people, and the surname is quite offensive, but the first name is just something quite mundane, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you have got any sort of habits. I remember when I was years ago when the kids were younger, and like somebody would cut you up, and I'd go, oh, nice one, Grandad. And then the kids in the back would go, is that Grandad? And you're like, no.
Is that Grandad?
They used to see Grandad all the time by the sounds of it. But I tend to make up names for people.
We just tend to keep it, we just make a joke now, me and Jack, if we're going down, we just call people dickhead. She was coming down on the beacon side the one day, and there was a car coming out from the retail park, the builders merchants where Simmons used to be. And you're going down there, and all it is, it's just a slip road. You're meant to come out when you're coming onto the big side, and if you can't get straight on, you just wait by your little broken line next to you. It's just it's not a slip road like you got on the motorway where you can just, someone's going to give way to you. You can't get on, you can't get on. So this car was coming down to there, Jack was going down the line of traffic, and this car was kept on going and going, and you run out of space at the end. You were like, I'm not braking. She's going to slam your brakes on just to let you in. There's cars behind me going down there at like 50 miles an hour. So you keep going, and you have to wait till there's a gap, and then you just join in with them.
Yeah.
So anyway, so she goes down there, and this car gets right up behind her, and he came right up with bloody arse, and he get flashing lights, and he tapping his horn at me. He really was annoyed that she never let him in.
Yeah.
So it gets right to the bottom there, and then it comes to the roundabout, and it goes into 2 lanes, and he pulled up next to her, and he was muttering something on there, so she wound the window down. He wound his one down there. She went, fuck off, dickhead. And I thought, come on, let's see what an answer. He didn't say no more. He just wound the window up and turned left to come home. And say nothing, you hear Jack swear, let alone say anything like that to someone like that. Then she thought after she went, I thought, oh, blimey, I was on my own in there, wasn't I? You couldn't follow me. Oh, it's quality. Yeah. So now we go out and someone does something, we just look at each other and they go, dickhead. It's turned into a bit of a joke between the two of us now, like.
I've also developed, because you have to drive defensively and you're watching other cars out there. If I see someone, I might go to whoever's in the car with me and just say, just watch him. He's going to cut me up in a minute. You watch. Here he comes. There he goes. And it's like Colonel Dickhead or whatever I call him or something like that. It's just like, and it's like, but actually I'm quite chuffed really because I knew it was coming, and I give myself a bonus point because I knew it was coming. And I think, you watch, you'll cut me up now, or she's going to do this. Yeah, that's it. Wrong lane. They're in the wrong lane. You watch. They'll switch lane. Yeah, there they go. That's it. And you can just read it sometimes, can't you?
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
I take what.
Yeah, depending on the car, especially like Nova drivers. They're like Volkswagen Golf drivers, aren't they?
Oh, they're just really annoying.
Yeah. You know exactly what they're going to do. As soon as you see one of them, they're right at your backside and they're edging you on, trying to make it go quicker. They see the V12 sign on the back and think, oh, well, I can race him, Yeah. And right, go on then. You pull up at the lights next to each other and you go, join it then. Yeah, go on then. And then you said they're all getting keyed up ready for it, revving it. And then they floor it, don't they? And go belting off. And I just sit there laughing. Pull away, it's just normal.
Just let them go.
Yeah.
It reminds me a bit like sort of an old wind-up toy. You just wind it up.
That's it, yeah.
Let it go. Yeah. So
do you do that in your Navy, do you, Andy?
What?
Do you do that? Are you tempted to do that? Isn't he? He's not going to admit now. That was the thought. You didn't come straight out with a no, did you?
He's trying to come across as the perfect driver.
Yeah, there was no there, was there? It was, well,
yeah.
No.
I'm going to get out of this one. Yeah.
I'm a sensible driver, Darren. I'm a sensible driver.
I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Of all them BMWs you've had as well? No.
Oh no, it's a bit different in my BMW.
Hey, I see. BMW red.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's a few more viewers gone. So we've offended the Welsh and we've offended BMW drivers now. Yeah. So well done, chaps. Brilliant. Yeah. I've had a thought, Andy. You know when you go into your show and your dad's towing you?
Yeah.
I think you should sit in the car while it's being towed, and you can be like those sort of like those police dramas, and you could where the people think they're driving, but they're on a trailer.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. And you could just sort of pretend that you're driving and just like lean to the left and to the right, and steering and all that kind of thing, and put a camera on the bonnet so it looks like you're driving. I think that'd be really good.
Yeah.
He's trying to get you to look like Mr. Bean, isn't he?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I don't know if I've mentioned this before. They used to call me Mr. Bean when I was younger because my first car was a Mini, and I used to work for a certain supermarket, and it was like the car park was overlooked. It was sort of like the canteen sort of overlooked it, and everybody used to meet in the canteen before your shift started. So I'd pull into the car park and park my Mini and that kind of thing. And it wasn't until about 3 years after I'd sold the Mini that they go, you do realise they used to call you Mr. Bean? It's like, what? It's like, oh, yeah, we'd all come and watch you park your Mini because you could get it in a smaller space than everybody else. Yeah, and we'd say, oh, here comes Mr. Bean. So I never bloody knew. Nobody frigging told me. And then I got the Manta after the Mini, which is a logical switch, isn't it? Really small car to a really big car. And then they said, here's the barge, and they used to watch me try and park that thing in the car park as well. So yeah. So I
think they had it in for you, Aid.
You what? Sorry.
They sounded like they had it in for you, mate.
Yeah, I think it's because they really like me, and it's an affectionate thing, Darren. That's what I told myself.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. Just mates banter, of course. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still on the counselling, but I'll be fine. We've been waffling for 50 odd minutes now. I think we need to get.
Joking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting bored now.
You're getting bored now.
Yeah, I'm getting bored. But no, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. It'd be nice to have a catch up. And
yeah, we'll do. Yeah, definitely
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
oh, I was going to say, that what you printed out, what I took to the show last week.
Oh,
if you get just one that hasn't been sealed up in the plastic, because I can do that. Here I've got all the sleeves and I've got my own little machine to do that.
Yeah.
And I was going to get some done and take some round to some cancer wards and that, like Upstoke Hospital, get you to put one so you can take it to the surgery she works, that sort of thing.
Oh, lovely.
And then just take someone to the cancer unit to see if there's anybody in there that might want to just drop in and, drop us a line and just say, tell me we can invite them to come and have a chat with us and that.
Yeah, that sounds
good. I think that's what I need to do, really. We need to sort of push it so people know that they don't just have to listen if they want to. Just drop a message in and just come and have a chat with us. It hasn't got to be if they don't want to discuss about if they have got anything wrong, or even if they haven't got anything wrong, if they might know someone that's got something wrong. Just let's get something out there so people, and if anyone is listening, just get in touch with us and come and have a chat and tell us. We've had some brilliant guests on in the past that have just come talking about what they do with their cars, what their hobbies are, what they do for their job, on YouTube and with polishers like we had the other week, and it's just really interesting for us. And that led to his friend, didn't it, Steve? That is in not a very good place, but he's really positive, and he's telling us about his car. So I just, if anyone is listening now, I'd just love to hear someone just get in touch and just say, oh, I'll have a chat with you next week if that's okay. Give us your details, and then I'll send you an invite in. Just click on with us and come and have a chat with us.
Yeah, absolutely, Darren. That's a great point. And just to explain to people there, we sort of created a one-pager, and it was just told a little bit about who we were and what we do with the podcast, and there's a QR code on there so people could scan it, and then it would take them to our YouTube page so they could just see what nonsense we create and that kind of thing. And it got our email address on there, and I think you just plonked it in your windscreen, didn't you, Darren, or something like that?
Yeah, put it in the back of the car. I've got a framed photo of her out of the Classic Car magazine that I put into a frame in the garage with all my models and things on the wall and where the Rover is and that. And I took that and I just stood them both up on the parcel shelf at the back.
Yeah.
And people was looking at them, having a bit of a read in that. So I don't know whether anyone actually clicked onto any of them, but they seem to be getting quite a bit, quite a lot of people looking.
Nice.
I mean, the car just got loads of attention, but they was all round. But we did see where we were sitting quite a few people looking through the back window, having a look what the pictures were about.
That's cool. And
so hopefully we can get some of those out to people. It might do something,
I'll get some printed off, and
maybe
because I can laminate them here. See, that's not a problem.
Yeah.
Maybe I can try I'm going to.
Yeah. If Darren, if you give Andy that sheet, the laminated sheet tomorrow when we meet up, he can take it to his car show and stick it in the windscreen. And
good idea. Yeah.
And maybe I print some off, and maybe we do it in like a sort of an A5 size, so it's a bit smaller. And then if anybody's interested, they can just take a sheet. And,
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just nice just to get people talking about cars and.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah. But also it makes it easier to talk about the dreaded C word as well, doesn't it? It's sort of it's a difficult subject for people to talk about, and sometimes it's difficult for, I was going to say men to talk, but this is for anybody really. So it's difficult for people to talk about it sometimes. But if you've got a love of cars and you can chat to people and you build that sort of friendship, and then you feel more comfortable talking about things when
that's it,
you've got something in common, really. So and that's what we found with Steve and what have you, and John. It was really, really good. So I'll get some of those printed off.
Do you think it might be a good idea to come up with some kind of just a small sort of abbreviation at the bottom of it, just to say, get in touch and come and have a chat with us or something? Just on the bottom of the flyer.
A bit like a strapline kind of thing, just.
Yeah, if you put, please get in touch if you want to come and have a chat with us, tell us about your car, or I think, because some people might look at it and not realise that you can do that. It's just there to be listened to.
Yeah. Yeah, something to say that we're looking for guests. Looking for guests, tell us your story, that kind of thing, or just have a chat kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have a look tomorrow. I'm off this week, so I'll have a look.
Right. Okay, mate. Yeah. I just always try and get it to push it a little bit more,
Yeah.
Has anybody watched any episodes of the Classic Car Garage?
Oh yeah, I've started watching that.
I watched it. I meant to mention it 2 weeks before it actually came out, say that it was coming on, and then of course we had people on there, a couple of guests chatting. I never got around to saying it, but I have watched it. I think it's a brilliant idea. I just love the format of it. I do. People just going down there tinkering with the cars in it. I think it's brilliant, really good, and it's getting loads of good reviews. A lot of people are liking it because it's totally different to anything else that's on there with cars. To be honest.
Have you seen this, Andy?
No. What is it?
It's a TV program where there's a chap who runs a garage and is about 3 or 4 of his mates, and they do like these drop-in days where anybody who's got a classic car.
Yeah, he does it on the weekend, doesn't he?
Yeah, and you bring your car in, and if you've got any little jobs that need doing, they work with you to do it. So a lot of quite a lot of people who are into classic cars don't really know a lot about how the cars work, and they tend to like it just for the looks. And
Yeah.
so what they'll do is somebody will turn up and like for example, a lady turned up and she was having problems with the inertia seat belts in her Figaro or something like that. And they were just showing her how to fix it, like cleaning the seat belts, getting the crud out of there, and just teaching her a little bit about the car. And it's just it's quite a nice program for people who aren't massively into cars. I think it's a nice sort of introduction.
Yeah, have a look at it, Andrew. I think it's brilliant. Yeah, it's called Classic Car Garage. It's on a Thursday at 9 p.m. and it's on yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, and it's on Thursday at 9 p.m.
Yeah, okay.
But it's really good. People get in there. I just like it. It's a completely different set to what you normally get. It's not like just sort of one garage doing all these cars up for people, or doing it up as this is what they're all amongst themselves. They're actually just, like I say, just sort of helping people do them. They like the people to do quite a bit of the work themselves, but they're there to advise. It's actually the garage that it's done in. It isn't a ordinary garage where you can just take your cars to repair in the week. It's actually a training garage where they train people to work on production lines for companies and train mechanics, that sort of thing. So it's actually a training garage for people, really. And the bloke just thought, well, this might, there's so many people that have got classics and they haven't got a garage to work in, so they decided to open the garage up for free of charge on the Saturday to let people come in. And I thought, what a fantastic idea.
Yeah, and you get all sorts of cars on there.
Yeah, some cracking ones. Worth a look. Definitely worth a look, Andrew.
I'll have a look, yeah.
Yeah, okay then, mate.
Right,
well, I just thought I'd just get them proper bits dropped in at the end.
Yeah.
I know I'll come awake eventually.
Well, thank you very much again, gents.
Yeah, and you lads.
Yeah, we'll meet up tomorrow. Oh,
yes, you're coming here for 6 o'clock, are you, mate?
Yeah, I'll be there for 6 o'clock, matey.
Okay, then, mate. Yeah, nice one.
But just for our listeners, if you can like and subscribe, give a thumbs up. I think there's the notification button you can do, so every time the podcast goes live, you get notified. And other than that, thank you very much for listening, and we'll catch us again next week.